Hi, my name's Alex Gambino, and I'm currently studying creative writing for entertainment at FSO University. I'm interviewing James DeStefano. He was a peer of mine throughout high school. He's written several short stories and has gone on to get his teaching degree at Florida State University. He is currently a history teacher at Swift Creek Middle School. Currently is enrolled in graduate program at Florida State University, Curriculum and Instruction, Master's program. What do you see as a role of the visual arts in society today, particularly in your profession?
Well, you couldn't teach if you didn't incorporate the visual arts. I mean, in the state of Florida, there's Common Core, which is everyone needs to be on the same page, and there are different prerequisites set in place now that we need to be teaching literacy, and we need to be teaching reading and writing in the context of the history classroom. In so many words means you need to be teaching how to write. That, it can't just be facts, figures, rote memorization. Literacy is now becoming more and more important, which leads to the visual arts, because from a writing standpoint, it's not enough for me to just dictate or tell what needs to be done. I can now use PowerPoint, I can use mediums projecting the writing on the board to have them follow along with me. Incorporating visual arts from a teaching perspective is very important. Not only does it give visual learners a chance to see what it is they have to do, but it provides a visual example so that they can actually create the work before them.
New communications and media technology make imagery almost instantly available. Do you believe that this is having a positive or negative influence on your field in the industry?
No, I think it's a positive. I think having instantaneous communication, I think having technology creating and expanding both literature, mass media, current events, news. The question specifically says imagery, which could be anything, but I think having all that at our fingertips is just an enhancement. I can't tell you how many times I've been in a classroom where a question is asked or a project is started, and you can just simply go to Google, and it's right there. Pulling your phone out and getting an update from the New York Times and being able to convey that message to the class, or hooking it up to the Promethean board and displaying an image for the class to see from the tip of my fingers. Literally, I thought it, typed it, done within seconds. I can't speak any higher to the positive effect I feel that has had on teaching.
Like a negative example then, if a kid is searching on Google for an image that he's for a project, and he's types in something that he's getting results that he necessarily shouldn't be seeing. Kind of deal,
yeah. Well,
it's like good with the bad kind of thing.
I skewed that from the role of the teacher. I think, hey, positive, right? Great. But you're very right when you bring up the negatives, but I think that's a parental issue.
You think that overall, it's a positive that you can't avoid the negatives with, but overall, it's positive.
Yes, it's a positive, but there are negatives. But overall, I think it's a positive.
What popular images do you see that are frequently repeated throughout your industry?
From a historical point of view, images of historical figures, Julius Caesar, Adolf Hitler, Jesus comes up, Muhammad comes up. You have, during Black History Month, you cycle through pictures and representations of famous African Americans who have done things in the field. You have dramatic images from Pearl Harbor. You have both current events and historical figures. I don't know if that's popular image enough, but if it's good enough for the New York Times, we will show it.
Who is one of your favorite visual artists, or what is one of your favorite visual styles of art?
I would have to say my favorite visual art style or medium of visual arts would be found in film. The film industry, movies, not so much because of spectacular imagery, but of what I know that goes into it. And the reason we're both here, the reason we're having this conversation, is because we both have a passion in writing. We both do a little bit more. You're geared to go into that industry, which is awesome. I can only dream of that. But the writing that must go into that is both detailed, is both complex, is innovating and shows human ingenuity, and when you're watching a film that has spectacular imagery and the plot and the cast and everything all comes together before you, you know the writing, when done well, is perfect, hit the nail right on the head. And so I love the film industry because of the visual component, but because I know what goes in.
When we were younger, we worked on a few stories, more or less, with each other. You remember? I don't remember the names of them, but I remember.
Diver.
Yeah, I remember.
The Forbidden Prophecy. We've written several books, yes.
I definitely remember working on a whole bunch of stories and coming up with these crazy twists and plot lines. I know I was influenced by video games and I was influenced by movies that I had seen, but how has your knowledge of famous artworks influenced your creative process?
Oh, my knowledge of famous artworks influenced me immensely. How could it not? I mean, you read a great book, whether it was Moby Dick, or whether it's Catcher in the Rye, or whether it's, I'm trying to think, 1984, Brave New World. You're reading these books that they're shaping you, they're molding you, and then you watch films growing up, whether they're action adventure, they're drama, whatever it is that you're watching or reading, and comics, looking at movies, superheroes. How do you not take anything away from that? Any of those mediums, whether it was any of the famous works of art, book-wise I've named, whether it's a film. The Back to the Future trilogy. We did a lot of time travel stuff in our book. I think the creative process is infectious, and I think you need to catch it. I think once you experience something, you take a little bit from it, incorporate it to the next work, and everything plays off one another. I think it needs to be that way. It's impacted me. I know it's impacted you. If it doesn't impact you or doesn't touch you, then you can't create something.
All right, well, Jimmy, thank you very much. I appreciate you helping me with this assignment, and I appreciate you helping me with these questions. Again, congratulations on getting the teaching position, and I'll talk to you soon.
Hey, anything I can do, man. Good luck with your program, good luck with the assignment, and I love what you're doing. Keep it up.